Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the YouTube world, CJ Rose's back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. All right, next matchup on Clash in Paris was our WWE Tag Team title match. As it was, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, the Street Profits, as they took on Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis of the Wyatt 6. Now, we got some interesting development. On SmackDown, before the number one contenders match between the Street Profits and Mellow Don't Miz, Bo Dallas walked up to Angelo and Montez. He was pretty much saying, you know, can you trust your brother? You know, can Angelo trust Montez? Can Montez trust Angelo? Pretty much trying to get into the Prophet's head at that moment. And in my mind, I thought that was going to make the Prophets lose on SmackDown, but it didn't. It didn't make them lose at all. They actually won. And then boom, here we are. Now, I had the pre-show on. I had the pre-show on because, you know, once Clash in Paris came on, boom, I was ready to go, all that. So, Kathy Kelly interviewed the Street Profits and B-Fab. She wanted to get their opinion on the title match. B-Fab did most of the talking. Angelo said something. Montez Ford said nothing. He had nothing to say. He was quiet. And you know Montez. Montez is never quiet. I don't know if Montez was focused or his mind was on something else. I don't know. But I knew, seeing that, I knew there had to be something. I knew it had to be something. And lo and behold, we get to the match. And there was more to it. So, before we even get into that, the Street Profits were dressed as Borderlands characters because Borderlands 4 comes out, I think, in 2 weeks. So, yeah, I guess they were just promoting the game and all that. So I was like, all right, cool. But then, so here we are in the match. Bell rings. And Street Profits are talking to each other. I guess they're trying to figure out who's going to start and all that, right? So as Montez Ford takes a step forward, Angelo does this, put his hand on Tez's chest, and he's like, that's it. He didn't say no words. He just did. Pretty much telling Ford, I'm starting. You get into the corner. And Montez just said, all right. It's all right. Cool. So now I'm looking at this like, oh boy. I just said to myself, I said, oh boy. So then maybe like 2 minutes later, Angelo Dawkins, he's in his corner. Montez slaps Angelo's back. And then he tells Angelo, you get in the corner. And now right then and there, I'm like, oh boy. I'm just like, oh boy. I already had them losing this match already. So that wasn't even the biggest thing. The biggest thing was, well, it looks like, well, actually, before we get into that, the match itself was pretty good. Match was pretty good. B-Fab was able to get Tez and Low, you know, focused up and back on the same page. And from there, the Profits were doing their thing. Again, it's a pretty good match. Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, and Nikki Cross were out there, but they didn't really do no interfering. They didn't really get involved until then. Until then. So Angelo runs up on Joe Gacy on the outside, hit him with a mean shoulder block. I don't know if Angelo really shoulder blocked old boy or Joe Gacy sold that. I don't know, but he hit him with a mean shoulder block. And, you know, Angelo was pumping himself up. And right behind him was Eric Rowan. He's like, oh, word? Do that to me. Do that to me. Angelo like, no problem, bro. They talking. Here comes Dexter Lumis. Boom, takes out Angelo. Angelo's in the crowd. And, you know, as Eric Rowan's hyping up Dexter Lumis, here comes Montez Ford. Leaps over the top rope. Boom, gets Rowan and Lumis. Lumis gets rolled into the ring. Montez Ford looks to take advantage. As he's trying to get in the ring, Nikki Cross from under the ring holds Tez's foot down. And as she does that, Uncle Howdy comes from behind. Sister Abigail Montez rolls him back in the ring. Joe Gacy, no, I think Lumis tagged Gacy or Gacy tagged Lumis, one or the other. Tag. Then they hit their tag team move, which was like that power bomb into a sit. No, it was like it's a suplex into a sit down power bomb, which they call the plague. 1, 2, 3. The Wyatt Six retain the tag titles. Not surprised, figured that would happen. But now with these little bit of teases that we have for the Street Profits, it looks like everybody's gonna get what they want. Montez Ford may go single, which is cool. The problem is, it's probably gonna be a way that nobody wanted it to be, including me. I didn't want it. I didn't want it this way either. And it looks like the Profits may break up, not go their separate ways. None of that. It looks like somebody may turn on somebody, and that's not what we want. So we'll see how things go, but I think we already know how it's gonna go. So only time will tell how this whole thing plays out. So I'm just gonna sit back and relax and see how everything goes. But yeah, next match, let's get it.